What is going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe, fifth and final of these new release weapons. And can I just point out what I think everybody, or at least a lot of other people are thinking is, why didn't they just choose one more weapon and then give us an even number on all 6 weeks rather than a whole new week to just squeeze in? Like, does that make any sense to anybody else? There's 6 weeks, but they were released 5 weapons. So rather than just add a 6th weapon and then give us 2 choices, because the Steel Pass circuit wants you to choose 2 weapons for the farm. So rather than go back and end up farming 9 tiers of 10 because you don't want an extra adapter for whatever reason, which is fine, I get that. Why not just put 2 weapons in there and just increase what the choice pool is for weapons? And then when the next round comes through, then you bring out 6 more weapons, and then you add a week. That would make more sense to me. But here we are. I'm just some nobody gamer.
Here's where it gets interesting.
And here we are with what I think is this group's largest disappointment. Now, if this is what you base your entire gameplay around, God be with you, okay? Like, truthfully, God be with you. The Anku, or Anku, or however this fucking thing is pronounced, its Incarnon transition is increase its range and slash damage during slide attacks. That's literally what it does. That's what the Incarnon form turns into. So basically, as long as you're wielding the melee, you get a plus 40% attack speed and plus 20 damage. Okay. Or you can choose increased damage by plus 20 with overshields plus heavy attack efficiency. Now, there are 2 ways to play this weapon. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you a build based solely around the Incarnon function of this weapon, which is really fucking stupid. So I want you to understand that the build that I'm about to show you is actually kind of garbage. But it's built around what the Incarnon does. Right? Right? Maybe? No. No, this thing's really meant for heavy attack. Truthfully. Like, I actually do, if there were, like, no other good options in Evolution 3, and this was the only option that was decent, this is actually a really good... Excuse me. This is a really good perk if there's nothing else available. Because if you're at a times 12, but then you need a gun and you have to holster your melee, when you break that bitch back out, it's still at a times 12. That's kind of nice. The evolution I chose was with melee weapon equipped, an additional 20% movement speed. Well, now we're up to 60 fucking % movement speed. I'm okay with that. Or you can go with this. 60% heavy attack wind-up speed coupled with synergizing it with overshields 80% heavy attack efficiency. So you maintain your combo stack very, very well with a faster movement speed, like a faster wind-up speed. So this is really where I would personally say take the other perk, the overshield perk, and then take this perk and use it as a heavy attack weapon. Because as its Incarnon form suggests, as it wants you to do, it's pretty dumb. Like, I'm not even going to take it to an Acolyte because it's pretty fucking stupid. So, increase status by plus 20. Why? Increase critical chance by 6 or status chance by 14. It's a crit weapon. Like... Just look at the number in the bottom right-hand side there. 32 and 10. So that means without the perk, it's 20 and 10, right? That tells you that it's wanting more critical. So increasing your status by 20 puts it up to 30. Okay. Or you could do 6 and 14. So you could do 26 and then 24. We can just do 32 and 10 and then just build around that. It's up to you.
Feeling creative?
I don't mean to sound so negative Nancy about this thing, but when you make something like that's a pure finisher weapon or something that's a pure slide attack weapon, I have a massive problem with that one because that's really a little too specific for the weapon. My personal opinion. Call me bonkers. Now, on that note, this is what I've gone for, and I literally refuse to stick another forma in it. 1.84 speed is more than enough, especially when I'm gaining an additional 60% attack speed off of its base speed of 1.52. So I don't really give a shit that quickening is not quite maxed all the way. Everything else is fine. It's gonna build up. It's gonna build up crit. It's got plenty of, you know, critical multiplier. It's doing viral puncture, which is really stupid because, you know, like, I mean, look at this fucking weapon, okay? Does this look like a puncture weapon to you? Seriously? Does it look like a fucking puncture weapon to you? No, it does not. But for some fucking reason, it's puncture based. And an impact above that, God be with us all. I don't know. I've never really been a fan of the Anku to begin with. It's whatever. But we're going to go show you what it does. We're going to go play whack-a-mole with some motherfuckers real quick, build up the Incarnon form, and do some slidey horse shit just to show you what this thing does. Now, I will say there is some hilarity to this being a ranged slide attack weapon if you use it with something like Loki. Because Loki is very fast anyway. And it just really fits that whole, how would you feel if you were getting your ass kicked by the Invisible Man? Well, how would you feel if, like, you had your ankles getting taken the fuck out by the Invisible Man and critted at the same fucking time? Like, that's a good day. Like, here comes the Invisible Man, just whip their ass. Look, if this isn't enough speed, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, okay? I really don't. There we go. First, I'm gonna build all this up. This is what this weapon wants you to do. Just slide through and swing. And yes, you get more range. That's nice. Personally, I think if you build it for pure critical and base damage mods, if you're really willing to do that, that's pretty meaty. And that's just 60/60s on there. If you were to do like Northwind and Prime Fever Strike on there, that's gonna be a pretty chunky heavy attack. Nice little ×12 with a hell of a good of efficiency perk in there and some attack speed. That's gonna be a pretty chunky perk. Me personally, because its Incarnon is quite specifically set to be slide attack and range, is really annoying. I don't know, man. Like, they could have literally just made this a heavy attack weapon. Given that there's two perks in Evolution 2 and Evolution 3 that say, hey, you know, heavy attack efficiency with overshields, and then just generally 60% heavy attack wind-up speed. Why not? Why not have the evolution be range and heavy attack? You know, range and heavy attack base damage increase. Why not? Why couldn't that be a fucking thing? That would be amazing. Personally, that'd be fucking amazing. But that's not what they did. So, I don't know. So, folks, that's as much as I'm going to give on the Anku, because honestly, I just would suggest that unless you intend on making it a very high investment, crappy weapon that's got some good heavy attack function to it, truthfully, it really does. I'm not taking away from it. If you intend on making it into a heavy attack weapon, this thing will be a chunky little red critter for you, because it's going to maintain stacks better at that 80% efficiency, as long as you've got overshields, and it's going to have some very, you know, pretty decent, like, basically you just change out organ shatter for amalgam organ shatter. Excuse me. And then you take quickening off and you put killing blow, you're up to like 180% heavy attack wind-up speed with 120% additional heavy attack damage, and then 2 base damage mods in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, this thing be a mean mamma jamma. But You do you on that one. So that's just my thoughts, you know, but you take them for what they are. So folks, I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?